Hello, this is Scott White from Glasshouse Home Safety. Welcome to Safety Saturday. Today I'm going to teach you how to test your own smoke alarm right now on the spot. Now wouldn't that be good? Am I trying to put myself out of work? Of course not. But all the Queensland Fire and Emergency Services and all manufacturers, all of them recommend testing your smoke alarms once a month. So in between our fully comprehensive annual servicing, you might want to be testing these on your own. And it's a great idea, you know, at least you know how it all works, and you know, you can do it a bit more regularly, and that reduces your risk. Now of course, you know, if you're not familiar with all aspects of fire protection and smoke alarms, you might miss a few things, but this is better than nothing, wouldn't you agree? It'd be great to find out how to test it for yourself. Now there's many different types of alarms, but I'm going to deal with the Clipsal one that's in my hands here. Very common. There's also Brooks alarms. These come with a little cover. Now if you do buy them, it's great to keep the cover, because if you're stirring up a lot of dust in the house, doing some cleaning, you don't want the dust to get into the alarm and leave contaminants, which will reduce its effectiveness. So if you've got the cover, keep it, just for those odd occasions. But of course, don't ever leave it on. If you put it on for a particular occasion, don't forget to take it off, because it just won't sample any air. Now what do you need to be able to do this test? Well, you really just need a broomstick. But if you want to go a little bit more thorough, then maybe a ladder and a second person. And I'll explain why in a minute. But you can get an app. If you've got a smartphone, you can get an app on your phone that measures sound pressure levels. I'd highly recommend doing that before you get started on it. But of course, to start with, you want to identify where the smoke alarms are and how many there are. So have a bit of a walk through the house. We're going to do another video over the next coming weeks on locations of detectors, positioning of smoke alarms. So you know, that'll be something you might be able to consider later on. But for now, basically find out where the alarms are. Bring your broomstick in hand, and the alarm, let's say it's just placed on the roof. Now this one is a 240 volt alarm, a hardwired device, which is obviously preferable. If you have a hardwired device and you have to replace it, it has to be replaced with a hardwired device. Now with these Clipsal ones, there's two different lights on there. One is a green light for power on. So if it's hardwired, you want to know that the power's on, of course, because they do have a battery backup in there that enables the alarm to work when the power's turned off. So you want that green light to be on. There's also a little pulsing red light here, which is a battery and sensor checker. So that pulses once every 40 to 60 seconds, and that just tells you the battery's okay. Now if that's not on or is on solid, replace the battery. So all you really have to do to ensure that it's working is to get your broom. This particular type of device has a hush button and a test button on the same button. So if it was going off, you come and press this button and it would silence it. But in this case, it's sitting there, it's got the green light on, it's flashing the red light occasionally, it's working well. You come along and simply push the button in and it will start sounding. And that shows that it's working. So if you want to go a step further with that, you could get the ladder and you could get up there and just check that it's not an ionisation device. Now we've got another video that was already done on why they are dangerous smoke alarms. They're not even really smoke alarms. You do not want an ionisation alarm in your home. So with the Clipsal ones, they're the most user friendly, I've got to say. They have a little push button here. So that's on the roof. You just press the button and that opens it up and it drops down. This one's brand new, it's got the battery turned around the wrong way. Now it won't work at all unless the battery is in, the cover will not close. So you've got to have the battery in. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but it actually says on there, no radioactive material. It says surface mount photo optical alarm. So it is a photo optical. It has no radioactive material in it, so it's not an ionisation alarm. It also will have a date there, date installed. If it's more than 10 years old, you've got to replace it. So that's a good thing to check. If it was, say, a Brooks alarm, I've actually got one here. They've got a little plastic dust cover. Brooks type. They have a mounting plate at the bottom, and that's a lot harder to get off. You've actually got to get a tool and slide the device off this way to be able to get to it. In doing that, you've got access to 240 volt there, so unless you're an electrician, you probably don't want to get too carried away with playing with them. That's why I like the Clipsals so much. They're very user friendly. Okay, so you've checked that it's a photo optical one and it's not out of date, and the battery's in, turned around the right way, of course. So this is where you might need that second person if you really want to do a good test, and that is you work out who it is in the fire, that if there was a true fire while people are sleeping, who's going to wake up? Who is the person that has to be the main responder? Let's say it's you, and let's say you sleep in the bedroom with the door closed and there's only alarms in the hallway. You want someone to press the button with the broom handle while you are in your bedroom measuring the sound pressure level. Minimum you want 75 decibels at the bed head. In other words, where your head is lying on the pillow, you should hit 75 decibel sound being pumped out of this one. Another good thing to check is if there is more than one, are they both going off? If you press this one, do they both go off? That's called interconnectedness. It's the new code. They'll all have to be interconnected, and they'll all have to be in every bedroom very soon. But for now, it's an interesting thing to note, because if it's not interconnected, then it's only this one that's sounding, and the other one that might be sitting outside your bedroom door isn't sounding at all, and there's not a lot of sound reaching your ears. So the likelihood of you waking up in an alarm is low. But we're just starting from a basic level. Does it work? And that's the simple way of doing it. If you can, get a vacuum cleaner and vacuum any dust and vacuum around. The air's actually getting into a chamber here. You always see a little bit of an orifice where the air goes into the sampling chamber. You want to be vacuuming there to just keep it clean. Now, obviously you don't have to do that every month, and we do that on our annual service. But you know, perhaps you could put some reminder that once a month you're going to get your little broomstick and poke the button, make sure it sounds, at least look at it, make sure that the green light is on and the light's flashing. So I hope that helps, because we're all about people surviving house fires, and that's a good starter. If you know that you've got the right type of device in the right position and it's working and you can hear it when it goes off, then you're miles ahead of so many other people. So I hope that helps, and thank you for listening, and look forward to speaking with you again.